Meanwhile, the Sandiganbayan denies any undue delay and arbitrariness in the legal proceedings involving the plunder case of former President Arroyo. It also stressed that the country's judicial process is being observed in Arroyo's case. Freddie Abando reports.
The United Nations Working Group on Human Rights has issued a favorable opinion which could open the possibility of temporary freedom for former President Arroyo from detention at the Veterans Medical Center in Quezon City. The former president has been charged for plunder for the alleged misuse of the intelligence fund of the PCSO from 2008 to 2010. All of her co-accused in the said case bail, she was denied. The House approved a resolution urging the Sandiganbayan to reconsider its ruling denying her petition for bail. Because of this, international human rights lawyer Amal Alamuddin Clooney decided to pursue her case before the United Nations. She is the wife of actor George Clooney. Lawyer Lorenzo Gadon, Arroyo's legal counsel, disclosed Clooney sent an email to inform them of the opinion by the UN Working Group on Human Rights, released October 2 of this year. Justice Secretary Laila de Lima stressed Mrs. Arroyo's detention did not violate her human rights as guaranteed by the Constitution. However, the UN Working Group said the charges against Mrs. Arroyo were politically motivated.
They're saying that there is arbitrary detention. So I'm wondering why there is such an opinion. She is being arbitrarily detained when she is going through the process. We have our own constitution, we have our own laws, we have our own rules of court na sinasabi nga doon na kapag the evidence of guilt is strong, then it's non-bailable. So if her detention is sanctioned by law, then how can there be arbitrary detention?
The UN Working Group on Human Rights ruled that the detention of former President Arroyo is arbitrary under each and all of the three categories of arbitrariness recognized by the United Nations Working Group that PGMA put in her petition. Accordingly, the UN recommended the reconsideration of Mrs. Arroyo's application for bail in accordance with the relevant international human rights standards. The opinion was issued in response to the complaints filed by Clooney. The Philippine government responded and pushed for its dismissal.
We have our own judicial process here, diba, that has to be observed. And the first division of the court, which is handling this case, has precisely observed this process that is in place. I don't think the court has violated any international law. The court has always observed all the processes that are in place in the country. She filed a petition for bail, that was heard, evidence was presented, and after due evaluation, the court came up with its resolution. That's how it goes here.
The Sandiganbayan held its ground for its decisions to junk the bail petitions of the former president. They stressed Mrs. Arroyo's human rights were respected. It appears that her lawyers failed to present sufficient evidence to convince the court of the urgency to grant her petition for bail.
There's no delay. We expeditiously resolved whatever needed to be resolved. There's no delay on the part of the court. I can assure you about it. We followed the existing jurisprudence on the matter. We base our resolutions on the existing laws and jurisprudence. That's all.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.